Y'all better. Oh, okay. Now let's see. You know what? So can you guys hear me now? So for some apparent reason, um, I'm gonna blame it on the devil. The devil and his minions uh, don't want me to be on StreamYard. So I don't know what the hell is going on. So that kind of defeats the purpose of me talking about this live. Because at the end of the day, that was what I was going to use. So apparently something is going on in the atmosphere where I'm not able to get on StreamYard for some apparent reason. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it. So hello, I'm gonna say hello there. I'm gonna have to go back up to. Hey, what's up, Bricklin? What's up, Chicky D? What's up, Gary? Bust it down, Shakira. What's up, Meek Meek? What's up? Let's see who else in here. Carl, what's up, Carl? Good to see you. Good to see everybody up in the house. Like I said, it defeats the purpose of this live. So I guess I'm gonna have to redo this live when whenever I can. So yeah, StreamYard has been having problems, but they want to sit up there and hey, what's up, TY? They want to sit up and charge you. So they need to kind of work on their system. But basically, I was gonna share with you guys the interview with Dr. Satin Says. Okay, that sounds funny, right? And Tasha K. Now, I know this is really new for some people that are not used to this kind of content, especially in this sector. We're all worried about what's going on with the drama and everything, but this is different. And and the reason why I want to do this live, number one, it's considered Halloween. I don't particular celebrate Halloween, but then I feel hypocritical because I celebrate the other pagan holidays. But Halloween is really scary. It's really fun for kids, but it's really more to it than what we think. But I'm not going to go so much far into that. But I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that there are real witches out there. And hey, Betty, what's good? And some people don't believe that witches exist. There are women and men that proclaim to be witches. Some practice white magic, some practice black magic. I will try to explain to you the difference because I have done some research on it. Not because I'm trying to be a witch, no, because it's very good to be aware of different things that are going on around you. So many people, especially in the church, are ignorant to and even if they're outside of church, they're ignorant of what is going on in the world, what type of people we have in the world, what people practice. We cannot be blindsided in one track mind about, the world. We have to know other things that's going on, and we need to be somewhat informative, educated on some things. So when some of you men can't break away from a woman and y'all having issues and y'all wondering why I'm having a situation, or anytime I'm with this woman, bad things happen to me. The woman might be a witch, or she might put a hex on you. She might got one of her homegirls that practice witchcraft and black magic and got you all confused and everything else. So you better watch who you sleep with and who you deal with. You will never know. And there are men that are out there practicing witchcraft. They are considered to be called warlocks. So warlocks, same, they're just male witches. And sometimes they just call themselves witches as well. So, there's some scary things out there. Now, to the people that do practice it, of course, they don't consider it scary. Of course, they consider it, I would say, religion to them. Like we may consider Catholicism. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm getting tired tongue today. Or Christianity, or Buddhist, or if you're Hinduism. So there's different types of religion. So the witchcraft, they consider that type of religion as a spiritual practice. They do a lot of spiritual practices. So some from the good, some for the bad. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what black magic is, what white magic is, and we will be listening to a little bit of Tasha K interview. I'm just going to do it on my laptop, so hopefully you guys can hear it. This is the celebrity witch and the root doctor Satin Says. That's her name. So I'm going to, hey, Juicy, how are you, sweetie? And so I'm going to just let you hear it to kind of hear. And you can also check out Unwind with Tasha K if you haven't already saw it. I wanted to cover this weeks ago, but the reason why I didn't, because it wasn't the right time and it just didn't fit. But I think it's very, since Halloween is here and people do practice this, it's really good to know what people got going on. And you're always hearing me say, I don't know what they got going on, but whatever, but a lot of these people got some spooky stuff out there. And some things we think that ain't even real, but to these people it's real. And to other people that have experienced being hexed, they'll tell you it's real as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play this with you guys that come in. Please press the like button. I appreciate everybody that has came in so far. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Press 1, please.
They come to them to get in, and they pick and choose. Whoever could be the better puppet is who can get in. And yes, they'd be sacrificing family. They'd be doing all.
Can y'all put a 1 in the chat for those that can hear? Please put a 1 in the chat. So I know I'm not talking to myself.
We're in Sanchez. Okay, so listen, I have never done an interview like this.
No,
I have never even talked to anybody that does what you do. Now, before anybody tries to turn off the damn screen and shit, we're all here to be educated. We're all here to learn some things, and that is what I do. And I want to open up.
Hey, Bevins, how are you?
Anybody that's curious, okay? And so, you say you do root work.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
And
have y'all ever heard of root work? Carl and Bevins, have y'all ever heard of root work? It happens. It's real. They do it in Santeria, the religion Santeria. They do it in voodoo. They do it in hoodoo. Hoodoo is basically folklore magic, but that's what they call the some of the people that practice the witchcraft. They call them root workers or maybe psychics, but most of them are root workers, and they basically deal with herbs and different objects from your body and things of that nature. A situation that happened to my grandmother years ago. Some of her family stemmed from Louisiana, but it was some women that wanted, it was a woman in particular that wanted my grandfather. And she got her cousin to do my grandmother's hair. My grandmother had extremely long hair and very nice hair. And she was doing her hair. And as she was doing her hair, if something happened, my grandmother ended up having a nervous breakdown. Now, it could have happened because her 12th child, maybe, some people that have their children, especially a lot of children, they go into postpartum depression. And at that time, back in that day, they didn't know about postpartum depression. But she ended up having a really bad nervous breakdown. and she ended up getting a pastor. She got delivered from that, whatever that was ailing her. But what they found somewhere in my grandmother's house, my grandfather's house, was a jar with with hair. It was hair with a snake in it. Hey, self awareness, what's good? It was hair with a snake in it, and it was found out it was my grandmother's hair. Now I'm not saying, but my grandmother believed that it was because that woman uh, did a hex on her, and that's what she believed. So, with her having some of that Louisiana background, and even South Texas background, that's kind of heavy, and especially in the deep South, the root workers like Carolinas and and Georgia, those like deep South Alabama, you have people that actually believe this. And so my grandmother believed that this woman put a hex on her because she did go, I would say, almost insane uh for one while. So hey, 7G07, what's good? So this is what she's talking about. She is a root worker.
Is that along the lines of being a psychic too?
Yes and no, because not everybody is.
You got to come to the mic now because they need to hear you, child.
Okay.
Okay, so is psychic root work, and this is my first time meeting her. Just in case anybody thinks I'm doing any work to anybody, but if she's good at what she do, I may have to hire you, child. Who knows? I got a few people out here trying to come for me. So hey. But listen. So what? Okay, so root work. Break it down.
Okay, so basically, people come to me if they want root work on anything. So it could be money, it can be love, it can be a lawsuit payout, settlement, whatever the case may be.
I think she plugged that on purpose.
He's been in all the blogs because he has a big case. But literally everything and anything you want it to be done, I tap in and I do it.
Okay, now when you say tap in and do it, what do you do? I mean, we hear these things, and like you could Google root work, but it doesn't really give you like the inside of how it's done. Like, give me an example of like somebody calling you, reaching out, they have a problem. Like, just give me an example of a case. You don't have to name no names or anything like that, because you do consider yourself a celebrity.
Oh, I am.
Root work advisor.
They all come to me. Mm-hmm. Plenty of them.
What?
Yes.
So plenty. Hey DJ. So plenty of the celebrities that you will see, they actually do practice witchcraft. If they don't practice it, they go to people like her. Dr. Sadden says that will perform some of these rituals to get them the fame or to get them what they desire. And people don't think that this is real, but this is what's real to them. And once it's real to you and you believe it, and then you have dark sources working for you, but you have to make sacrifices. Anything that you do in this type of way to get this to go through a root worker, you have to give some type of sacrifice. You have to give, whether it's not only money, but sometimes it's, and people don't realize it later on down the line, it could be your peace of mind. So you have to be very careful, because everything that you do, and especially in the darkness, you will have to pay a hefty price for it. Nothing in the dark world is free. It's just not. So and she's going to tell you more about this.
I started with celebrities and then I was posting my stuff, and that's how I started with the public. But it was celebrities only because you need to have a check to come to me. So now I have things that the public can come for too.
Oh, okay. So that's why you're here. You want general viewership, general consumers.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So give me an example. Like, how would somebody reach out to you? First of all, how would they even come to know you?
Usually word of mouth.
Okay.
Or maybe my Instagram, my TikTok. They'll find me on social media, and so they'll go on my page, they'll email us, or DM me and say, "Oh, my husband's cheating, and I want to hex him and hex the bitch that he cheating with," and then we go from there.
No. Wow. Okay.
That's common.
Very common.
Very common.
All right, you better watch who you sleeping with, because if you piss her off, she might just go to a root worker and get your ass. So you better be careful who you mess with, because you will find yourself uh barking like a dog in the street with no clothes on, no shoes. People wondering, did this man lose his mind? You will be messed up. So you better watch what you're doing and who you doing it with.
Pastor wives come to me all the time.
That's sad.
They're supposed to be going to God.
They be fucking on half the congregation. Yes.
So now you get into the bad part where you understanding that even the people that are supposed to understand the light, they go to the darkness to get the results done. And now that says a lot about their faith, and it says a lot about their spirituality. You can only choose either the light or the dark. So of course, some of people that believe in this, they don't believe that they're actually practicing darkness, but it's only one or the other, unfortunately. So there's no in between. So you have ministers' wives going to a witch doctor, a root worker, to get their husband hexed, because the pastor or the preacher is sleeping with half of the congregation. So then you have situations like this. Now, this is why, that's why people don't go to church, because the church is so messed up, and the church is a hospital. But if you're not trying to get well, if you're not trying to get delivered and really get help, then you wasting your time in church.
Yes, one of my clients, she caught like chlamydia, herpes, a couple of things from pastor. Yeah, she's first lady.
Her husband.
And he fucking on everybody in the congregation.
So what's she
pregnant?
Got somebody pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do?
I did a little hex. So basically she wanted to stay with her husband, so I couldn't hex him. Because if I hex him, it's gonna hex her. There's no around.
So you mean to tell me she got 3 STDs?
Yes, and she's staying with him.
And she's staying?
Absolutely. I don't.
Do I know this pastor?
Well, I don't get into specifics all the time.
Okay, I got you.
I just deal with my client.
Okay. So they pay for a great deal of confidentiality, I take.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't deal with none of that. I just do what they ask me to do, but I let them know, if you want to hex your husband, you're gonna hex yourself. So whatever happens, that shit's gonna touch you. So she didn't want that, so she wanted me to hex her to get her out of the situation, and that's what I did.
So where's the side bitch now? Or where's the congregation that he was fucking on? Where are they?
They're still there. They don't care. This is the thing about like religion. It's so funny because they'll be fully aware.
Let me get that water bottle. Move that water bottle to the side. I need to put it over there. I don't need nothing in the energy field.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
The congregation could be fully aware, because in her case it was.
Okay.
And nobody questions it. It's like they mind control them when they're up there pastoring and shouting and stuff. Like they just go and believe whatever. It's like a cult to me. That's what it is. Ultimately. Because if it was me, I would have hexed him if she wanted to.
So she used the church's tithes.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. Just like pastor using it to get gator shoes. Yeah.
And pay for pussy, because they do pay for pussy.
They do.
Okay. All right.
Pussy.
So let me know if you guys can hear this, because this is really something that you should. This is really something that people are really that jacked up that they have to go through all of this. Hey, Channel Forbes. Yeah, but some people don't know this. Some people are ignorant to the fact, not to say that you guys are, but some people are ignorant to the fact that this exists. They think, oh, this is nothing, because they don't believe in the spiritual realm. So when you have people like her that will let you know, hey, this is what's going on, You know what I'm saying? And it's not just Christian church is a cult, it's other things are cults as well. But people want to put that on Christian believers and stuff like that. There's good and bad in every group, in every religion. Okay. So miss me with, I hate when people go there where they go talking about all like Christians or whatever, or or this and that. There's good and bad. Fake there's fake and real in every religion and every spirituality practice that people do. Anything that revolves around people is good and bad. And that's just point blank.
Yeah, there was a Miami pastor that was put out on the OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
That he was busting it open.
Oh yes, yes.
And preaching against it.
I have a client that is, an escort in Atlanta for a whole lot of preachers. A whole lot of preachers. He was showing me pictures and stuff. I said, "Oh Lord, this is too much."
So this is really like a different type of world.
It is.
Hey Tariq, what's good?
I know.
Like I know, like of course, I dwell in wine gossip comedy, so
yeah.
I get a lot of these stories, but it doesn't go that deep. Like for me, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's real.
And if people really do, this is like a big market. Is it sort of like black market?
No, it's not black market though. It's very much widely known. People just don't talk about it. Or if people come to me, they're not gonna tell somebody else that they're coming to me. Like they might tell their uncle, their sister. They ain't telling their friends. They don't want nobody to know.
So what? Okay, so when you perform a hex, all right. So, or do you consider yourself a witch?
Oh, I am a witch. But I don't do that for everybody.
Should I be scared?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because they tell me Beyonce's a witch and shit like that. That we should be scared. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She's an E.
So for those who don't believe Beyonce's a witch, I don't know if you guys remember back the Lemonade when she came out with that whole album of the Lemonade. That was basically her initiation. That was basically her letting you guys know that this is what she worships. She worships a goddess from my understanding by the name of Ashun. Now, I could be wrong how my pronunciation of it, but basically that is they call it's like a marine spirit. It's an ancient African goddess by the name of Ashun that is that's over beauty, femininity. I'm sorry, sensuality, and what else? Money, things of that nature. So that's basically what she's going to be talking about. And I believe Ifa is a god that's one of the deities as well, that come from Ashun. But I'm going to let her explain it more on that.
Ifa. So when she wears her yellow, that's Oshun. Oh, riches. And
I don't know what bless you means, Channel Forbes, but I'm assuming you're being sarcastic.
Yeah, so it's another kind of tradition.
Okay.
Like a lot of people would think it's voodoo, but it's really Ifa. So it's like a lifestyle as opposed to religion.
Because I always wonder why she always got on them flowers and she got on that elaborate shit. I'm like, can nobody buy your clothes? Your clothes look different.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
She probably gives her, so she has her own altar. She gives her food. She has parties for her. All of that. Just like Summer Walker.
Yeah, Summer Walker. But I was told, like, because, the first time I even heard anything of her work was when my grandmama asked me to go get something out of her drawer. She told me to go get her cigarettes.
Okay.
Right? I go to her drawer. I'm probably like, I'm going to say like 9. No, I would say like maybe like 11 years old.
Okay.
So I go to her drawer and she said, it's in my second drawer. I opened up the second drawer. Mm-hmm. I found dolls in there.
Oh.
With pins.
Oh, she was texting somebody. Okay.
But it was a lot of dolls. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, where are these dolls in here? I'm thinking I'm supposed to play with them.
Yeah.
She said, go put my dolls back. Don't touch them dolls. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but at the time I didn't know, but now that I think back on it, and you watch movies and stuff like that, people don't really have dogs. Like, but I don't see this kind of stuff. And I'm from Panama City, Florida, which is
Hey, Angelo, what's good?
because where Panama City, Florida is where Pensacola is. We're on the border. Yes.
Okay.
So, I know people talk about it, but I mean, do it, but they don't, it's something you don't talk about.
You don't. Not much.
So why you don't?
Yeah, it's a lot of, see, I have people also in Pensacola, Florida as well. A lot of these, especially you'll find out people that are in the islands or people that are surrounded by water. For some apparent reason, they are very into some of the is it Yoruba? It's in Africa. It's the Yoruba tribe. They have, they are the ones that adopted. Well, not adopted, but they are the ones that, you know, the goddess Ashun comes from, and it's always surrounded. They call it. It's associated with. They say it's marine spirits. Like, y'all ever heard of people saying they've been possessed by a marine spirit? Y'all ever heard that on some of these which some of them I think are lying, but it's like it's always people that are in the islands or somewhere like close to the water. Thank you, Tariq. I appreciate it. um Obia, let me see. Obia, you'll probably have to come up here, Channel Forbes, and explain that to me. Say that word, say that pronunciation for me. Obia. Um, they really are into the that particular type of religion, and it's kind of hard for me to explain it, but when she goes a little bit more into it, you'll kind of understand it a little. Thank you so much, Tariq. I appreciate you. Angelo, not now, he ain't behaving. Angelo ain't behaving. Big Red. Let's see. Okay, yeah, because you are from Trinidad, aren't you, Channel Forbes? And they really, voodoo is considered a religion as well. So I don't know if you guys know that, but I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. Voodoo is a religion. Selena, a dog coming soon. You better keep that dog to yourself.
Just like when you ask, did I tell you what I do? No, Rupert. Because when you're
hey, Real Chase, what's good?
Kind of like that high society that everybody's
happy birthday, Real Chase.
You're sworn to secrecy. You cannot tell people what you went through initiation to get these secrets for. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I won't talk about how I do it or what exactly I do, but it clearly works. Clearly.
She said it works.
I need millions every single year. So every year.
Do you think this woman would, I know people sit up there and lie, but do you really believe that this woman would sit up there and lie about making all this money from celebrities that pay her, and she's gonna get a little bit more into it, that actually pay her money to get the success that they want? Even basketball players. She won't give the name of the basketball players, but she has dealt with a lot of celebrities, including basketball players, that have came to her for success. Like that, whether you believe it or not, it's working for them. So there's something in it. Is the original form of voodoo? Yes, voodoo.
That my accountant gave me. He said, "What do you do?" Because what is
So you pay taxes on this shit?
Oh yeah, I pay taxes. I paid like $200K last year. Yes, I pay taxes.
Oh, God damn! Like this is interesting.
Yeah, I do everything legit.
So how do you get initiated? Like, what is an initiation? Like, how do you know? Like, okay, I was supposed to be a witch. Like, where do you wake up and find that? Like, how do you get that?
So the thing about witchcraft, it's a huge world. So there's not like one specific way. Like you said, you wake up, oh, I'm a witch today. like anybody could really get into witchcraft, but not everybody's called to be a root worker. Like this is something
My
that
goodness.
for me, it was
Are
my
you for
family.
real,
Like my
Chase?
great grandmother, her mother, like this is just a bloodline. So I always had the power. It was up to me to decide, is this what I want to do and how?
Okay.
So that's how I got into it. I was born into it. And so my mom took me, I did my initiation. So it really just depends. Now, some people do come into it that it's not in their bloodline. I would never do it, but if it works for them, it works for them. It's their path.
So did your grandmother like explain it to you? Did she introduce it to you?
Oh, yeah. So like everybody came to her, like politicians, everyone would come to her to get work done. So I would see it, but I didn't 100% like understand it. But then, as I got older and I started having like premonitions and she saw like, oh, she gets it. So she
okay.
my mom.
Gotcha.
It just grew up to what I am now.
Are people scared of y'all?
Yeah, and my grandmother, one of my great grandmothers, her people are too, from Louisiana as well, and they came to Texas. So that's how I got familiar with it because of my grandmother and hearing her tell stories of what happened to her. So it's really interesting that if we go back in some of our background, we might find out that somebody either knew about it, especially back then. Them older people knew that because they talked about it, or somebody in your family has practiced witchcraft. And like she said, with her family, Satin says she says with her family, hey DJ, that she was actually it went through, it was in her bloodline. Her grandmother was a witch, and I believe her mother as well. So she fell in line to be a witch as well. I also know about another guy that practiced witchcraft. What is his name? I can't think of him right now, but he is Puerto Rican, and his father and mother were both practiced witchcraft. And when he got older, he started practicing witchcraft. So sometimes it is I wouldn't say hereditary, but some people do carry that generational thing. But some people go into witchcraft without uh, having a family background. That's just something that they want to do. Yeah, some like I said, Santeria is very well known now. A lot of people practice Santeria, especially the West Indies, even let's see, some of the Latin Americans have studied that. I'm talking about that's over here, but it's very popular in Cuba, Haiti, and those different type of Colombia, even Mexico. They study a lot of the Santeria, and basically some of the Catholics, they mix kind of the Catholics symbolisms and all of the different things in Catholic with the Santeria. So I don't know if some people are aware of that. Is actually a healing practice. It was never intended to do magic. No, not hoodoo. Now, Real Chase, do you know if they say, I believe hearing that hoodoo was a folklore kind of magic. It was something like a natural magic that's done with, herbs and different things like that. Um, is that considered magic? Because I know voodoo is more of a religion, a religious practice. So, did she dress like a witch? No. This young lady, if you go and look at the interview, she is a very attractive person. She has a long dress on. She is pretty. That's the reason why I named my title. Beware of, pretty faces, because you just don't know what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, she is attractive. I wish I could show you, but the picture that's on my thumbnail, that's her. And if you go to Tasha K's live, you'll see it as well.
Yeah. But like I don't harm people. Well, I don't really, I don't set out to harm anybody. If you
Okay.
don't bother me, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
I spread love. Like if you see on my Instagram and stuff, like everybody that's on my tribe, they're like, I love Satin. Like Satin shows me love more than my own family. Like I always spread love.
Right.
But if you come to me with the shit, now it's on. But other than that, we're good. We're fine. I won't do anything. You don't need to be scared. Unless you fuck with me.
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what y'all did? Do I need to rewind it? She said, hey, if you mess with her, she'll put something on you. Better watch it.
It's not. We are all spiritual beings.
I get that. I
We
do.
all are.
I get it.
Tapping in. The difference of someone that's a genius and someone that's like a regular lay person is the amount of their brain they use. So spirituality is the same thing. It's just spiritual power. How much spiritual power are you using? Most people just because of everyday life, they're just going rat race. I want this, I want that. Nobody is thinking about the fact that you have all this power in you because everybody thinks it's outside of them. It's in you. We're spiritual beings. Tap in.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
Okay. You serve God?
Not in the Christian sense.
I get that. I get that. Okay.
But I do know that God is a higher power spiritual being. I do not believe it's a person. I don't believe God is a person.
Yeah. No, God is not. God is all. Is all.
All encompassing.
Yeah.
The highest spiritual power.
Okay.
Possible. That's
So is there a conflict in what you do, being that you do believe that there's a greater being and you spread love?
Thank you, Double
you're
Speaks. I
paid
appreciate you.
to sometimes destroy it.
To destroy love?
Yeah, like
I choose who I allow, into my tribe and who I'm going to do the root work for. So if I know that they're the antagonist, I'm not doing it. But if they're the one that were hurt and I know that they need this to get off of them, then I'm going to do it. So I'm not really destroying anything. I'm just making it even.
Hey, Rare Money, what's good?
When you say you're like a gangster, like I'm just making it even. So
I am. I don't set out to harm anybody.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good. Let me get some water.
She doesn't set out to harm anybody, but she will harm a person that she feels like is causing someone else's harm. And I guess maybe that make us sleep. Well, that helps her to sleep at night. But okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm curious about what y'all think about this. I will have an open panel for those who would like to come up. And thank you, Chase, for giving us this information. I'm really glad that you are knowledgeable of this, for real.
Wow, just live. We should. I know. I was like, because the questions that would have been thrown at you, because I'm still like, when I tell you, there's certain, because growing up the way that I grew up, it's just once you're told to. It's kind of like, stay in a child's place.
Okay.
And when it comes to stuff like this, it's like, if you don't understand, you just keep quiet about it. Like, so I never, like there was talks that my great, okay, so he's my great granddad was a warlock.
Okay.
And my grandmother, they lived like on the same street.
Okay.
But she would never walk on his property. She was afraid. Like, this is what's told to me, but I know he lived down there and I would be at my grandmother's house and I would go down there, but I never saw her on his property. So when people say, like when our family members say like she wouldn't go on his property, it's because everybody came to him for work. And I was like, what work?
So she was afraid of his power?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
There are some witches that they have different levels of, I would say, different levels of power, of prestige. It's like they have how like principalities, they have different it's different powers. They have, some are on the lower spectrum and some are on the higher spectrum, depending on, I guess, how much they have, learned or sacrificed or what they've done to get in a higher position, but there are different levels of witches. You know what I'm saying? Just like different levels of principalities. And basically, principalities are demons in different levels, at different levels. And that's how witches are. They have different levels as well. So she may be a high ranking witch where she is in her location, and you know, we don't know. So but yeah, so this is what Tasha K is saying, that her grandfather was a warlock. Like I told you, that was like a male witch. A warlock is basically does the same thing as the, you know, the any other witch, you know, but like I said, there are different levels.
Heavy prayers to, you know.
Oh,
So her
She
thing
might be
was like,
Channel
you
4,
know, but
because she look it.
that's what they say. I don't know the specifics because, you know, it's the South. They don't talk about shit like that. That's why I'm shocked that you here. I cannot wait to see what some of these
Right.
reactions are going to be.
but like Jesus is gonna take you to hell. I'm like, you gonna be with me?
Oh!
Because like I hate that people really believe in this like imaginary
Right.
sky daddy shit.
Mhm.
That sound more like witchcraft than what I do. Like Moses burning bush sounds like witchcraft.
Okay.
All the rituals they do in religion,
Yeah.
you know, when you're going to the altar, you're praying.
And this one is nasty. I'm about to get. I think the bottle. I think the bottle's old. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of the negativity that I get makes me feel even better of the fact that I don't like follow what they follow. Because if that religion makes you like that, and I'm full of love and peace and giving people hugs and kisses and helping people, I don't want to do what you do.
Sometimes people make sometimes people make spirituality, they make it ugly. And the reason why I say that is that you have some people that proclaim to be a certain thing, but they're so nasty and vile to other people. They're so misleading, and they're like a stumbling block to people. And when you have people that see it so much, people start to lose faith in whatever, you know, even if they did think about a certain thing, they lose faith in it because they've seen so much hypocrisy. They've seen so much people just do evil and have no conscience, but say they are this or that. So I think that's kind of where she is with how she feels, you know.
I'm just turn my phone off.
Okay, go. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what it says.
Okay.
But I just feel like if there was a hell, we're living in it. It's right here. I don't think it's any other place but right
Hey,
here.
brown skin, what's
Everything
good?
that they were taught, literally, because everybody's taught.
Okay.
Nobody's born saying I'm a Christian. Nobody's born with that. You're taught that. Your mom, your dad, everybody's teaching you that. So I feel like nobody's like questioning this shit. Like, this shit sound crazy. It sound crazy. And I questioned it. When I was a kid, I was like, man, that don't sound right. So Noah had the ark and he had 2 of every animal. So you tell me there was roaches on that ark? He had 2 roaches.
Hey, Tamika.
Okay. And so animals that usually in the animal kingdom are eaten.
See, it's very, yes, that is Tasha K. Y'all need to check it out if y'all haven't. It's very interesting how people seem to focus on Christianity when there's other religions as well, where you can point out some hypocrisy in that as well. But it's very interesting that they focus on Christianity. I now that would make me ask the question, so why is it such a negative view on Christianity? Why do you feel so much hypocrisy with Christianity? What about people that practice Hinduism or Buddhist, or what's the other, Confucius? All these different type of religions, but they seem to focus on Christianity. So that makes me wonder why. I don't know if I just wonder. And then, like I said, a lot of what she believes in. Thank you, Cece. Oh, thank you for shout out to the victim unit. Um, this makes me just wonder, and I ask questions. Like I said, I am open to understanding and learning different things, but I stand firm on my belief. I stand firm on my faith. So yeah, you could call it a magic book, a coloring book. I didn't heard it all, but that's what some people choose to believe, and that is their belief. Where if I'm looking at the Quran, I wouldn't dare call the Quran to me, because try to respect whether I agree with people's religion or not. I don't want to be disrespectful, right? And I wouldn't dare call the Quran something like, would be derogatory to a Muslim. You understand? So I try to respect people whether I agree or understand it fully. It's just, like I said, we could ask questions about a lot of different things out here. Like, it's not just Christianity. We could ask so many. Hey, Miss Queen Sunkiss, we could ask a lot of questions. Egyptology. Okay. Maybe her experience. Yes. And that's why I'm saying it could be, but people seem to focus on that, which I think is very I'm curious about why she came up with that, but it must have been the people that she's been around, that she's seen and experienced, and she's seen so much hypocrisy, and she hasn't had a real person to really show her. Um, it's unfortunate.
Other animals, they survived on that ark. This shit don't make no sense. I'm sorry, none of it makes sense. And a lot of the
Any
people
witches
that are
on this
religious just
YouTube?
don't question.
Definitely some of them act like
like what? Because I don't believe the shit that you believe.
See, I'm Buddhist. I chant, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And we ultimately believe in like just obtaining happiness.
Period.
That's it. Like we don't try to recruit. We don't try to, my thing is if I see somebody that's unhappy, I try to make them happy.
Yes, it's beautiful.
That's all I do. Like I remember I was in an ice cream shop. Getting some ice cream. This is probably like 2 months ago. And I see the guy all the time. He fixes my ice cream. He knows what I want. I want in there. White guy.
Yeah.
And he looked sad today. I was like, you okay? And he was just like, it's my birthday. And I didn't want to be here. And I was like, what do you mean? And when he said that, I knew what he meant. I was like, what do you mean you didn't want to be here? He was like, I don't want to be here. I just want to. And I'm like, he said, but I'm here. And I was like, okay, now I got to talk to him. So that's my cue to talk to him, to introduce what it is that I do, which is chanting to him. Mm-hmm. He's a lot happier now.
See?
Yeah, he's a lot happier.
And see, I'm not one of those people that will tell you, you need to believe in this, you need to believe in that. I will introduce to you what I believe in, but baby, you best to believe I ain't trying. Look, I'm trying to work on me. So with me trying to get myself together, that's a whole lot right there. So yeah. I'm not gonna go into the whole interview because I think you guys, if you are interested in knowing more about Sad Says, I think it was very interesting. I liked it because it gave me a chance to see what other people actually believe and confirm some of the things that my grandmother not taught me, but she told me about when I was a little girl. And it really helped me to kind of it coincide with some of the things she was saying. And I don't know if y'all have seen the other video about I think it was Summer Walker, celebrity which exposes singer who sacrificed their family. Now I'm gonna play this one a little because, well, no, I don't want to play too many of this. I kind of want y'all, if y'all want to go and see it, because Storm, I think it's no, not Storm. Who is it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Storm Monroe. He did a he did an interview with her a year ago. It's Dr. Sadin Sanchez, Sex Magic. So for those who don't know about sex magic, that's basically what Aleister Crowley um was talking about. And though, you know, most of those rock stars, they worship Aleister Crowley. That was basically, he considered himself the beast. And he wanted to be the most vilest man ever. And he would do sex magic sometimes with children, as well as the same sex and the opposite sex. He was I ain't gonna say interesting. He was very just a vile person, but he believed in sex magic, and she talks about sex magic and how some people have different orgies, and that gives you some type of power, that gives you some, you know, in your life, where you're able to be successful in some of the things that you want to be successful in. You just have to do these different rituals. It's a lot of weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? So for those people that don't believe that this is actually real, I mean, it's people that actually believe this. So if they're actually believing this, and some of the stuff that comes out of it, hey, it's real to them. And I like to know about certain things, because in this world, we deal with so many different types of people, so many different types of religious backgrounds, some with non-religious backgrounds, but they still have some type of spirituality, to where they believe in certain things that we feel is odd to us, but it may not be odd to them. You see what I'm saying? Like Real Chase was saying, his I believe it was his uncle was what did I gotta go back and look at that comment. He is a, I wouldn't say a minister of voodoo, but basically he practices voodoo. And this is something that sometimes it is in the family. It's handed down in the family. So it's oh, he's a priest. Okay. So he is a voodoo priest. Okay. And so when and Real Chase, now with him being a voodoo priest, is that is something that is handed down through generation, isn't it? Like it's somebody else in your family that was actually a voodoo priest and passed it down to him. Is that how it works? Because I would like to know. I'm gonna put my link in the chat, so anybody that is familiar with this type of thing, that would like to come up, you are more than welcome. I think it's an interesting. Okay, so that's what I thought. It's passed down. Anybody that knows more than me on this kind of stuff, because I'm still learning. I learn about a lot of different things, and the reason why is because I want to be able to understand people, and why they do what they do, and what they believe. That kind of stuff interest. It really is interesting to me. So that's just my opinion, you know, my thing. And that's why I like to interview so much, because it gives me an insight on people's thoughts, how the people been raised and things of that nature. I like to hear people's thoughts on that. He is not white. He is a description in the Bible. The white hippie is actually Caesar Borga, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Caesar Borga. Um, yeah. Jesus didn't have, I don't believe, blonde hair and blue eyes, but again, I wasn't living back then. So, for what the Bible was saying, he has hair of wool, and that seemed like that's closer to a uh, black person, an African person to me. And if he was tan, they said that his skin was like brass. That means he was kind of tan or some kind of brown complexion. If I'm correct, but I could be wrong. You know, again, I wasn't living back then, so I don't know. But from that was from the description of the sun. You are Jesus. If I'm Jesus, y'all in some bad shape. I'm just telling y'all right now. If you believe I'm Jesus, then y'all in some bad shape. Y'all already going to hell. Y'all, including me. So no. That's crazy. Woolly hair, breasts. Y'all can come up. Honey, I can't be Jesus for nobody. I got my own problems. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm gonna find another video with this. Now tell me now I know this is different for you guys to hear this kind of this kind of information. And it's yes, and it is very touchy. My goal is not to disrespect or offend anybody. It's actually to have conversations with people. And I think that sometimes people can be really too sensitive. There's some things that I don't like certain things that people say about me as being a believer, but at the same time, that's their opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be too touchy with everything. We all have a different way of thinking, but I want to have conversation, and it is a touchy subject that people do not like getting into. I always heard you don't talk about politics and religion. Those are the two things that will kind of throw people off from you. So, but I want to have conversations. I like to shake the table. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I want to know. And I even question the things I believe. There's not one thing that some things I don't question. I don't go just by what my pastor says or what somebody says. I do research on my own. And then I still have questions because there's still things I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And even some of the things in the Bible I don't agree with. So let's just keep it 100 on that. And I'm just being honest. But I choose to have faith in certain things. Let me see. Who is this coming up? Oh, Channel Forbes. Can somebody else please come up?
Hold on, I can't hear you. 1 second.
Look, somebody else.
All right.
I'm
All
just
right.
waiting.
Now I should hear you. All right, cool. What up?
What's up? What you have to add to this, Channel Forbes?
Right, not too much. Right for you. Oh, by the way, the word was obia.
Obia? Okay.
Obia. Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty much exactly the culture you talk about, the Yoruba from Africa.
Yoruba.
Yep.
Okay.
So it definitely spans all the way across Trinidad, Haiti, Jamaica has their own, Brazil, I believe, has their own form of it as well. Like
Hmm.
a lot of it just, at least a lot of that style, I guess, of quote unquote witchcraft, definitely comes from African culture, or at least West Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. By the way, why I was saying bust you, because every time you said a shoe, it sounds like you're saying a chew. So I mean,
Yeah.
hey.
I'm like, what the world are you talking about? Is it a shoon? A shoon? You know, sometimes, like I said, I'm learning how to pronounce these words. Uh, what's up, Rare Money? What's good?
What's going on? Salute, salute,
What up?
salute.
What up? What
Salute.
up?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
No, I'm doing all right. How about yourself, my man?
I can't complain, man. These my type of panels right here.
Yes.
Yes. I want to know what people think. I'm curious.
I
So,
tend to
so
stay away from too deep from these conversations here. But one thing I will add, though, because I
mhm,
am not religious, I'm
uh-huh,
pretty much on the factor where I do not believe, or at least I
uh-huh,
don't believe, at least, pardon me for saying if I offend anybody, too bad. I don't believe in the BS that's written in these books, because these things is kind of like the old game of, pass the message.
uh-huh,
You mean to tell me after centuries that message has not changed or hasn't been altered to suit someone's needs?
uh-huh,
When you go through all of these books, no matter what the religion, there usually is a core aspect and then someone else's interpretation of the quote unquote core aspect, right? So, which I
uh-huh,
believe that 90% of it is BS. The reason why I've turned myself against the church and like those religions and stuff like that is mainly not because of the religion itself, because if there's a higher power, let them speak to me. I do not speak through a man. I'm sorry, right? But
uh-huh.
Only Christianity and Roman Catholics or anything along those sects is where, hey, do you believe in the Lord thy God? No. Well, why? Why don't you? Young brother, why you turned against the church? I'm like, are you serious? Like, bro, like you have never heard an atheist walk around and tell people, well, why do you believe in that bullshit? That's unheard of. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like that's without even going to the Bible and all of that, that right there is what the people have been taught, especially around amongst black culture or black people. That's the
Hmm.
number one hypocrisy right there. Because even in the Bible, it says, "Judge not, and thou shalt be judged first." So what the hell you opening up your mouth for? You get what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey, Alpha Buckeye. Okay, so let me ask you this question: do you believe in what the celebrity witch Satin says? What she says about her practices? Do you believe in that?
I don't necessarily believe in that, but I have heard stories from reliable sources and other things that I've seen where there is some truth to it. But then again, they say that the mind is the most powerful muscle in the body. We barely even touch like what 30% of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Some people have it unlocked a little bit more, some people have it unlocked a little bit less, right? So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things out there that we do not know, we do not comprehend, and unfortunately, our minds are too small or too locked in or too trapped in slavery because we are our own mental slaves and captors, right?
Okay.
And that's why we don't fully understand what the universe is. That's why we went out of our way to create technology, but we do not understand nature. You find someone
Mhm.
who hasn't been around technology or around a cell phone, they can hear a car coming a mile away.
Okay.
You feel
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like, and that's I've actually seen. So it's those things, those things is like there's a lot of things that's out there, and you just have to go out of your way, like you said, just try to learn, try to understand, and sometimes just sitting down and observing, you know.
Right.
And I'll actually leave on this one last point, and I think this is for everybody. I'll actually put it in the chat. There's a movie called Man from Earth, I believe it's called The Man
Mm-hmm.
from Earth. I don't know if you ever seen that story, if you know that movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
So it's a one take, it's damn near a one take movie, but it was beautifully done. It's a college professor that is moving away, and he had a whole moving away party where his colleagues was helping him move out. And
Mm-hmm.
he's I forgot what kind of a professor he was, but he threw out the theory that he's a Cro-Magnon man that survived to present day.
Mm.
So imagine if a caveman lasted for this long.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout that time, he explained when he was Jesus, when he was Buddha, when he was, because remember, all of these martyrs came around different time periods. And guess when they quote unquote died, or guess when they quote unquote left Earth, quote unquote, it's always around the age of 33 or 34. But because he
Mm.
ages so slowly, he can't stay around a certain place for too long, or else he's gonna age. Everybody else is gonna be old, and he's still gonna be a young man. He's like a vampire. So,
Mm.
so he just kept on moving around to other places of the earth, so he cannot be detected.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me about that. I've never heard of that particular movie, but I'll try to check that out. And
The Man from Earth. It's a very very interesting movie conceptually.
The Man from Earth. Okay, that's something that I will look into, and I'm gonna try to remember The Man from Earth. Okay. And I want to look at that when I have some free time because that seems like an interesting movie. Thank you so much for your opinion, and I respect that. Thank you so much. Now, you can stay up here. I'm going to let Rare Money speak. Rare Money, what's good? What you got to add to the conversation?
Take it away, my man.
Not much. I was listening to the brother up here speaking, and I agree with what he's saying about us as followers of Christ. As the majority of us, we do turn people off
Right.
from the Word of God, and we are instructed not to. We also we supposed to spread the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And like if I'm trying to witness to this brother up here, I tell him about my experiences. I tell him
Mm-hmm.
about what Jesus can do for him, and then I leave it at that. And he doesn't have to
Okay.
accept it or not. That's how it's supposed to go. So I can
Correct.
tell him and have a conversation with him, and he can say, I don't care about that. After he say that, I've done my job, and then I
Right.
move on. I'm not supposed to thump him with the Bible. That's how it's supposed to go. We're supposed to dust the sand off our shoes and keep
There
it
you go.
pushing. So that's how we're supposed to do it. So if he
Right.
doesn't want to accept it, we can't make nobody accept it. Because
Yeah.
it can be 2 years later, he might accept Christ. or it can be
Right.
10 years, or it can be the next day. That's just how he works. And I always tell people it's an experience. So I can't tell you, because everybody has to experience them for themselves. So a lot of people don't know about the miracles, and really it's the Holy Spirit that's inside of us. That's him that's in us. So I didn't had that experience. I had the experience of speaking in tongues. I had the I know him for myself. So
Right.
I can't put how I know him for myself on nobody else, because they have to get to know them for them, themselves on their own. And then that's how it go on. So that's how it's supposed to go. And then as
Mm.
far as the Bible thing goes, as black people, we've been bamboozled. Our churches, a lot of them in fraternities, and they go to these white scholars schools, and they get their preacher license and all that stuff, and they preach affirmation. They preach you're gonna get your blessing, your house, your breakthrough, your purse, your
Yeah.
car, all that stuff like that. Pay your tithes and all that. And
Peter, was that Peter Popoff? What's his name? Peter
yeah,
Popoff?
yeah, they preaching all
Miracle
that.
water.
They preaching that gospel. And people out here, you got us out here, like brown skinned lady said, she it turned her off, slavery in the Bible and all that, and a lot of people turn into Muslims to that
Hmm.
religion, because they looking at it from the standpoint of that's a white man book. But
Hmm.
when you really get into the context of it, that book is all about us. When you look at the region of it, the book was
Hmm.
in Africa.
Hmm.
Ain't no Middle East. The Middle East is Northern Africa. Egypt, all that's Africa. When you it's I can't really go into it real deep, because it's then they'll try to start making you like you're a conspiracy. I don't want to go into the Black Hebrew Israelite type stuff like that, because it's not
Right.
that part either. But
I see
it's
we go.
real deep, and it's the context of it. So when you read about the slavery, it's the context of the slavery, because we was created to teach the rest of the world how to serve God, and how we were supposed to be a priesthood. If you ever heard they say
Right.
black people the seasoning of the most of us the seasoning of the earth, we
Right.
season, we make everything better. That's how we supposed to be or whatever.
Right.
But we disobeyed, and he had to teach us. We had to go. That's why we went into what we went into, because our ancestors disobeyed. So I always tell people, if you read it with an open heart and say, let me just give this thing a chance and read it, it's history, it's prophecy, and it's salvation. That's all it
Amen,
is.
brother.
It's nothing more. It's nothing less. Because if you think about it, where do our history go back to? 1600. That's it. It
Hmm.
don't. It don't. We don't. Our history don't go into context. But if you really get into Genesis and Exodus and such begot such and such, that's why our genealogy go back. That's when we found out how we was kings and queens and all that stuff like that. Yeah, you had the
Mm.
Egyptian parts of it, but all of us are, it's different tribes and different type of people. So it's deeper than just the surface level of it. We have to go deeper, and a lot of us pastors have done this service because they don't read enough about it to tell us who we are. So if we don't know who
Yep.
we are, that's why we all messed up right now. That's why we hate each other, we fussing, we fighting, we the bottom of the bottom and
Yep.
every totem pole. And you got to understand why. Like you were saying earlier, you ask questions about the Bible and all that. That's how you find out the answers, because you asking questions, and you start scratching the surface, and you start pulling the thread, and you
Hmm.
find out that everything is one big lie, and
Yeah.
everything is really the opposite.
Hmm.
And then once you find out all the information, it start giving your people, and it start giving you you get confident, because you like, oh, I went once a man know he went made to be down, you can no longer keep him down, and
Right.
everybody else know it but us. So that's why you see how why everybody else treat us the way they treat us, and try to keep certain information from us. And it's not hard to find, but you have so many distractions that they have us tied into. Man, don't nobody want to hear about this. What I'm talking about for real, don't you get what
Hey,
I'm saying? Don't
worldwide.
nobody want to hear about it.
Oh, oh,
It's time to get up
oh
under
no,
there.
bro.
So
I was letting you cook, bro. I was letting you cook
I'm not
because
talking about us up here. I'm talking about like in general.
uh
We don't want to hear about this type of information, because once you really find out about it, and that's why most people either don't believe, or pulled into all of the different type of religions or different type of stuff. Or some people say I'm living my last day like it, every day like it's my last day, and they just don't care nothing about it. But we were made for greater, and that's why we ain't in another thing too with the book is flipping pages. Why like the prophecy stuff is really going on. Like it's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's happening now has happened before. So it's we have to understand where they get all this stuff when they make these movies and this stuff coming from outer space and all the where they get this stuff from. Like information isn't just created. These
Right.
people, these writers, the government and all, they've gotten this stuff from somewhere else. They're just one up on us. We don't
Right.
know, but you got to think about it. Where do people get their information from?
Now,
Like
Rare
it
money.
all stands. Go ahead.
Let me
I'm
stop.
sorry.
Let me stop you right there, because I know you got to be a preacher.
Nah, I ain't
So,
no preacher. I just
okay,
I
good
just
boy.
be on it.
the
But
next,
listen, let me ask you this question, just like I asked Channel Forbes. Do you believe that what she is saying is true? That there's actually real witches that practice witchcraft, and they are successful in making some of these spells that they do for other people? Do you think that this is real,
Oh yes, most definitely.
and why?
The good book talk about it. The devil gonna bless you. He an angel of light, so he gonna come out with all that. That's witchcraft is out here harder than anything else. It's just that they're in the sky. They're beautiful. They're successful. They drive all the nice cars.
Uh-huh.
They got the big houses. They got the big bank accounts. They are very successful.
Okay.
Um, the devil give you riches, and fame and success and all that. Even let's just say you ain't famous, you have success. So that's if you pledge your allegiance to that specific type of power, that's your reward for it. But your sacrifice is your soul. So you're gonna get all the glory and the prestige on earth, but you're gonna give your soul up at the end. So yeah, I believe that. There's a lot
Okay.
of them out here.
So, the difference, I don't, some people say that there's a difference between white magic and black magic. From my understanding, white magic is to basically do good things for other people. It's to, do positive things. The black magic, they always put everything black bad, but they say the black magic is for actually doing hexes, on people, trying to basically, do something evil towards them. That's what they say, the black magic. But do you know the difference between, I mean, have you ever heard of that, black magic and white magic? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I think both of them are the same.
Mhm.
Because if you doing that white magic on somebody to help them be successful, if that person doesn't have enough discernment to understand, where this is coming from or wherever the situation is, you open the door up for you open up the door for invitation to for possession. So, and it's the
Hmm.
same thing with dark magic when somebody put.
I'm sorry. I was playing something real loud. Okay, go ahead.
No, you good. With the same thing with the dark magic, when you put something on somebody or you trying to make them have an accident or whatever,
Right.
um, you still putting something on somebody, and if they don't have enough discernment to catch it, then they've opened up themselves for it too as well. So it's they both the same to me. And if you ask me, I think white magic worse,
Uh,
especially if you know it. Because we can like if you ever heard about the Ouija boards and all that,
mhm.
and they'll play with that, even though they didn't do anything with it,
Hey,
they
Tammy.
open up the invitation
Mhm.
for possession. And a lot of people don't understand that ain't real. Like if we, I always say tell people pray about that every day. That's a prayer you should have in your prayer every day, praying against witchcraft, whether you
Yeah.
believe or not. Because you ever have it where you everything going good, and then some people might say it's just life, but every time you go 2, 3 steps forward, you take 4 or 5 steps back. You might want to watch your surroundings. You might want to watch who house you going in, or who you keeping company around you or whatever. Because most witches ain't gonna tell you they witches. I'm
No, they're
surprised she
not.
said what she said, but most of them
Yeah,
ain't gonna tell you
they're
they
not gonna tell
witches.
you. Hey,
Yeah, so
hey, Tammy, I'm gonna play this right quick. He gonna explain. His name is Richard. Lo, I don't want to pronounce his name. Lorenzo, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Richard Lorenzo Jr. He used to be into, I think, Santeria, and he practiced it. And from his point of view, he explains what the difference is from black magic to white magic.
okay.
Black magic are both demonic. I'm going to explain the difference between the two. Watch all the way to the end. If you haven't already, like this video, hit that bell icon for notifications, subscribe to the channel. It's about to get real. Let's talk about it. The difference between black magic and white magic. If you know my testimony, I come from deep witchcraft. I've practiced voodoo, hoodoo, practiced shamanism. I've studied Islam, Buddhism. I've studied all types of stuff. I used to read cards, tarot cards, chakra balancing. I used to balance chakras with pendulum crystals. So I have experience and I know I'm educated on the subject. So I'm just going to read and explain the difference between the two. So black magic, all right? It's often considered to involve the use of supernatural powers or rituals for malevolent purposes. It is associated with practices that are intended to harm, manipulate, or control others. The motives behind black magic can include revenge, power, or personal gain. It is often portrayed as the darker or negative side of magical practices. So it's supposed, like, let's say for instance, someone gets cheated on, they go do black magic to hurt the person, the one that the person cheated on them with, or the other, or the one that actually cheated, right? That, or someone that might be going through an abusive relationship, they go to the voodoo priest or the witch or the warlock to do black magic to hurt them. You see, or if they want power, they want, over a territory. Let's say they're a drug dealer. A lot of drug dealers do witchcraft. A lot of them. I was one of them when I was in the world.
And especially the in the Mexican cartel, they practice a lot of witchcraft to protect themselves from sometimes going to prison, going to jail, or doing something instead of them physically killing someone. Sometimes they use witchcraft to maybe kill a person or do something, negative to them. So they use that type of magic, black magic, as well, to take care of their enemies.
I was waiting for him
World
to say that
power.
he was. I was waiting for him to also say that he's a Shaolin monk, but with all the jobs that he has. But
Uh,
but
awesome.
I actually got to be out. So I mean, thank
Thank
you
you.
thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
bringing me up.
coming
All
through,
right, salute, bro.
Channel 4. All right, whatever it is. Have a nice night.
You guys have a good day, though.
All right.
Personal gain from money. So some drug dealers, they need personal gain of money. That's why you see a lot of these gangs, they wear beads, like in New York and different places, like in New York City, they wear the same beads as a lot of these voodoo um religions, and they don't even know, like the green and yellow, the red and black, like the white and blue. Like these are actually, like, those beads are what they wear, the voodoo priests wear, and people who are in that practice. So black magic is associated with more of the harm, to murder somebody that crossed you, or someone owes you money, to hurt them and cause them to get sick. Let's talk about white magic. So white magic, on the other hand, is typically
Hey,
associated with
Buck, how are
practices
you?
that are intended to benefit others or promote positive outcomes. It is often considered a form of magic that aligns with moral and ethical principles. White magic may involve healing, protection, spiritual growth, or divination for benevolent purposes. It is often portrayed as the positive or light side of magical practices. No, I'm just going to say this right now. They try to make it seem like white magic is good. It's not. What you're doing is you're manipulating in the spirit realm. You're manipulating things with demonic spirits. It's deception. The devil comes to kill,
So basically, it's a manipulative tactic. And you said, Buck, you said it is Jose Malverde. I can't pronounce that. I don't know if that's right. I think that's Jose. Let me see if I can. Um, Now, is that the Grand Reaper that? Because I sometimes I see the Grand Reaper on some, sometimes I see them on some Hispanic people. They have it on the back of their trucks or cars. Not always. I say I never asked nobody. I need to ask somebody about that.
Mm, yeah, it is. And
Okay.
a lot of them, if you ever pay attention to they put it in the movies. I don't want to sound like no conspiracy, but I'm one that pay attention to a lot of stuff, and I don't let because I got real good discernment. So I don't. It's like I don't have no choice. It's natural to me. So a lot of times they put it in the movies. Most of the time, the Italians, the Migos, when they the drug movies and stuff like that,
Oh,
right before they go after they done kill somebody, or right before they go and they kill somebody, they going right into a Catholic church. And the church look real cold. They go and pray to the priest or get prayed over, and then as soon as they leave out of there, they shoot up the whole the adversary um club or business or whatever the case, whatever kind of movie it is, they go and do. If you ever pay attention, they all on the main movie in the main church in Hollywood is the Catholic Church. It's never your except if it's a Tyler Perry movie, but it's never your traditional church.
okay.
Uh,
Well,
if
let
you
me.
ever pay attention, go ahead.
Okay. It is the Mexican Robin Hood turned drug lord saint. So he is the saint that some of these drug lords worship, that kind of help protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see what he's saying. Thank you so much, Bucks over fame. I appreciate that. Because that's the first time I heard about that. To be honest with you. But like I said, this is conversations that people do not like to have, but it is what it is. It's out there, and people, I sometimes feel like, that don't be so sensitive about everything. Uh, you know, talk about stuff. This is, we're in a world where it's so much stuff going on, and it's good to talk about different things. And my thing, I'm not trying to offend anybody about their religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs. You choose what you want to choose, or believe what you want to believe. But it is good to have conversations, and it's good to yeah, discuss it and take it in stride. Don't make it more than what it is. It's having a conversation, learning about how different people think, their thinking system, their belief system, all of that. I don't feel like it's nothing wrong. And I was always an inquisitive child. So I would always ask questions. Why people do this? What is this? Why did this happen? What is that? So people need to ask. You know what I'm saying? So, like
Mm-hmm.
I said, women, you have to be careful, because you don't know what that man got going on. He could be dealing in some dark stuff, and women too. I mean, men too. Be careful, because a pretty face just might take you out.
Boy,
So,
what you say?
you, yeah. So you better watch. Now, my pretty face wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying. But a pretty face, it can take you out of here. So you better know that, don't be fooled by pretty face, because there are witches among us. Like I said, some people think witches are bad, some people think witches are good. You would have to figure that out for your own, you know what I'm saying? But if you come back barking like a dog, or going in the street half naked with all you got is boots on, Timberlands on, and you walking in the street, somebody done put something on you. And
Or if you lose everything.
yeah, and it wasn't Jesus.
Uh,
So, but guys, I hope that y'all be blessed. I hope that y'all take this conversation as it just being a conversation and learning and not trying to make something negative because everybody thinks differently. And I want to respect everybody's, uh, ways of thinking and believing, as well as I want people to do me the same way. So, thank you so much, Rare Money. You're a blessing. I enjoyed you. I really did, and I'm a cam up just a little bit. So, because I haven't seen y'all. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? I'm a cam. I got my little glasses. I got my teacher glasses on. So I just want to say hello to you guys. I miss you guys. I haven't seen y'all in a couple of days. So, but I just want to have something different to talk about today, because people are celebrating Halloween, and one of the favorite costumes that people wear is a witch costume. But witches don't really look like that. Witches are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, DJ. Witches are beautiful, and some witches, hey, they bad. So you better watch it. So and watch what you do to a woman because you just never know. Guys, I love y'all to Reese's Pieces. Thank you, Rare Money. It's always
salute,
a blessing.
salute.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy the
Thank you
panel.
so much. And you're welcome
Uh,
to come back up here anytime.
oh yes, yes, ma'am. I be watching.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
I don't be catching them, but I made sure I scheduled this one yesterday. I said, oh yeah, I gotta hit this one.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
yeah,
appreciate the conversation, and I appreciate you for having me up here.
okay. I appreciate it. Come back, okay?
I'll be back.
All right.
Y'all have
All
a good
right.
night.
Yes, Selena dresses as a teacher for Halloween. I sure did. I have my eyeglasses on for you guys, uh, so I can be the teacher for Halloween. See, all I need is a paddle or a ruler to spank you. Now, oh, you want look? All I need is my ruler so I can spank you. But anyway, here I go. You know me, I always got a clown. But guys, I love. Yes, I look so studious, so studious. But oh, I was an eyeball. What? Oh Lord, you was an eyeball for Halloween. Well, bless your heart, Tammy. You a model for Halloween. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I wish. Come on, baby. Sex magic. Behave, DJ Memphis. Guys, I love y'all to Reese's Pieces. I actually had a great time. I hope you had a great time. And you took some different things from this. Like I said, this is not to offend anyone, because your belief system is your belief system, just like it's mine. But it is to have a conversation. It is to be open to learning what other people think besides what you think. I think it's very important to know. But it's also important to be solid in what you believe. So I hope you guys had a good time with me because I had a good time with you. Thank you for the conversations in the chat. Thank you for Rare Money, Channel Forbes. Thank you for everybody. Cash apps. Thank you, Tariq and I can't and CC and whoever else that gave me a cash app. Thank you so much, Juicy. I appreciate you coming through. I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. And always push the notification button when I'm going live. You will know. So, guys, God bless you. Have a wonderful and safe night. And I love you to Reese's Pieces. Bye.